Sinners, man. They're talking about
The Coog.
Ryan Coogler, man. Dude has hits.
Yeah, I don't think he's had a miss yet. Or at least not mainstream, because the last 5 movies that he's done.
And we mentioned that he, the X-Files has been handed to him. So I'm really curious to see where he goes with that. I mean, I'm a fan, so I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it drops soon because I'm anxious.
How did that even come about,
That's what I wanted. Did somebody offer it, or did he go, hey, you know what I want to do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to do, you know what I mean? Like if he was just like, I want to do this.
Because that's not something that I would have imagined that he would have gone for.
Right.
It just doesn't seem like it fits into his realm, but,
I just want to know, is it going to be an extension of, or is it going to be a complete overhaul? Like, and if it's a new version, is it going to be new characters, or is it going to be a new Mulder and a new Scully, and they're going to start it
like a whole
so recast it and the whole nine. But I'd like to see him kind of just take it over. Have 2 new detectives that are part of the X-Files, throw back to Mulder and Scully a few times,
right?
Get them as guests from time to time.
Yeah,
Gillian Anderson, and get them back on the show every once in a while, just as a throwback. Maybe they're one of the the big wigs in the
right.
In the
they're in the back office now.
Yeah,
office job. Yeah.
Maybe Mulder's the new guy, the guy who smokes.
Right.
So
yeah,
but yeah, we'll see. But no, Sinners. There's a lot of talk about sequels. I think people want it, obviously. I think whenever there's a good movie, somebody wants to see more, right? So there's always a drive for that. And I think sometimes they get carried away. I think sometimes they're not warranted. I've read 2 different things about this. One, I've read that Ryan Coogler's down for a sequel, and I heard that there's rumors that he wants Tom Cruise to be a part of it alongside, Michael B. Jordan and all this other stuff. And I'm like, all right, cool, But then I've also heard that he's not interested in doing a sequel. I've read both things, so I don't know which one is true yet.
Right.
But I did read that Warner Brothers says that whether he's involved or not, they're doing a sequel. And that kind of made me a little sour because that throws back to something that we've talked about a lot, like with the Scary Movie franchise, where New Line kind of just was like, it's ours
let
now.
It ride.
But yeah, it just gives me vibes about that, the Scary Movie franchise. So I don't think it's right for them to say, regardless if he's involved or not, we're doing it. At that point, it makes me, if he's not involved, it makes me not want to even bother with the sequel.
Right. Because they're not going to do it justice.
So, because they're going to take their own liberties. They're going to get somebody else who's going to restylize it.
It'll be Scary Movie 3 all over again.
Yeah, I'm a hard pass.
Yeah.
So, if they do it, I hope he's involved. I mean, how do you not involve the dude who's like you just mentioned, is throwing hit after hit after hit? Like, how do you not involve that? But they did that with the Wayans, right?
With the Wayans, yeah.
So
even the studios will take that chance, at least because you'll get at least one out the gate where people will fall for it off of the notoriety of the previous one. The same way that Scary Movie 2 came out. And they were like, oh, we're doing 3. And everybody wanted to see 3 until they saw 3.
And see, 3, if you remember, they went out and they got a gang of extra cameos to try to make up for it.
Which is what kind of made it.
Yeah, and same thing for 4. They had all these cameos, these different stars.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like,
I mean, they even had Shaq up in there.
Right. So,
yeah, so I'd be looking forward to see a sequel, a Sinner sequel.
But it has to be a Coogler. Has to be.
More looking forward to it if it's a Coogler feature.
Yeah, if it's not, I'm not even going to bother, to be honest with you. I'm not even going to bother. And I'm a movie buff, but I'm not going to bother.
I've even heard talks of, nothing official, but, like a spinoff using the Vampire Hunters.
Right.
So that would be interesting to see also.
Well, I mean, to its credit, so globally at this point right now, Sinners has made $350 million globally off a $90 million budget.
Yeah.
So you can definitely call that a success. And you have to credit that in part to Coogler.
Right. No.
I mean,
it's damn near in whole.
So, I mean, that obviously it was a great written script. They got a great cast, and you got Coogler just taking the helm and just running with it.
Yeah.
So that's a success. I mean, a $90 million budget is nothing to sneeze on, but by today's standards, that's fairly low budget.
Right.
And they made 350. Now, just to contrast, the new Mission Impossible film has also grossed $350 million globally, but it had a $400 million budget. So it's still in the red.
So they still haven't recouped their. Yeah.
So and when they do recoup it, it's not as profitable of a film as Sinners.
Right.
And when you think about the Mission Impossible series and the big budget film, the stars, everything else, and how commercialized Mission Impossible is in itself, it's kind of like disappointing. It's like, dude, you spent $400 million. You only made 350 after this amount of time. I mean, and again, 350 is nothing to sneeze at, but when you've spent 400,
right,
it's like crap. And and I feel like it's, another 50 million, it's possible, but it's at this point, viewers are slowed down on that movie. There's newer stuff coming out, so I don't know if it's going to reach 400. It might break even.
Might just break even, yeah.
Maybe it'll make up for it on some streams and stuff when it's out, but
and this is the last.
Sinners is so far ahead.
Yeah, and this was the last installment of the Mission Impossible series, right? Or so they say.
So they say. They've said that before.
And which is crazy because I saw it a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
I don't think it was opening weekend, but I saw it a couple weeks back.
I haven't seen it yet.
Pretty good. It was interesting. But the way that they did it, because this was like the last half of the one that came out prior.
Right.
The way that they did it, the first portion of it, they just kind of sped through a couple scenes to get us to the end, to the final scene or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, I feel like they could have literally pulled 2 to 3 more movies out of that instead of trying to squeeze it into this one.
Extended the story out a little bit.
Literally. Because there's part like you're for 30 minutes, you're watching a section and it's going down, and then it's like, all right, we're on to the next one.
Yeah.
It's like, that could have been a whole movie by itself. But, I know they're trying to shut it down. He's getting older, so he can't be doing too many more of his own stunts. Can you reach that?